end of April. You have to do individually only. You have to do individually. That is, if you want to pick up any paper randomly, that is, it is you decide. If you want to do randomly, pick up and just you tell me which, and top of it, you just tell me which question paper or that code you can mention. Term end is the 20th of May. Still 1.5 month we have. 20th of May. Term end will be. After that, we will be having Viva and practical exams and all. So to us, these things are done only. Fast learner assignment, same 3 result, that is, it is gone to the university, but I have no idea. Even we are waiting for that because we have to do result analysis. This time there is nothing much to do result analysis because result will be good only, as you people know. Okay, now you tell me whether you will pick up the question paper or should I give the question paper with some like hash function or something. I should apply some mathematical function and according to on your roll number, and based on that you will be getting the question paper. So you want that, or you the other way, you will pick up the, you can pick up the question because 5 question papers already there. So you can pick up one, and then whatever the questions of these 3 subjects, you have to solve it on a paper with pen and paper, and then upload it. Not necessary very good handwriting, very nicely written, nothing, but what I want is you're trying the solving those questions. That is, that approach I want, the method of solving the such kind of a questions, that I want. I'm not expecting a right answer, but what I'm expecting is you are understanding the question and trying in a right direction. So that is, otherwise you will find from somewhere from the net or somewhere you will get the solution, and then you will write in the nice this thing and upload. I don't want that, huh? Suppose if it is a C program, then suppose evaluation, what will be the output? Then you have to scribble what is the function, what is, how it is called. Then whatever the first time you are getting wrong answer, that everything I want, everything I want. I don't want a right answer, which is a nicely decorated answer. Have you understood the objective of this assignment? I hope that you understood the objective of the assignment. Topic of, it's not topic, Shivam, it is the paper only. My objective is you should go through once, at least you should read one GATE paper. And now I am telling you the only data structure, OS and C programming, but simultaneously you can solve the questions from the CN, questions on the automata theory, questions on a COA as well, because those subjects are also there now in the 4th semester. So my question will be 6 questions, so 6 more questions, so one full paper itself you can solve. So that will be great, that would be great. It is not a topic wise. Sometimes there will be OAS, there will be only 2 questions, so one may be numerical onto the memory management, one will be from the deadlock, or one may be from the process. So that way, because there are so many subjects needs to be covered, so only maybe whole subject may have only 1 or 2 questions altogether. Huh, Sonam? You would be happy to do this? Hello, Sonam.
Yes, ma'am.
So some of you, that is, some of you should solve the whole paper like properly. So it will give you satisfaction of like solving the questions which are not from the like 3rd semester and like on 5th onward questions. There are very few subjects 5th onward, but those are subjects whatever you studied, at least you maths and everything, that you should attempt. And you should it is a, as I said, it's a self evaluation where we stand. Yeah, then we'll start now. So today we have finished in the last lecture this thing. So we are beginning with memory management, which is for the second test, memory management, and the disk secondary memory management, which are important topics for your this thing. And second assignment already I gave as an any operating system, and you have to apply, you have to see how it does process management, how it does the handles the deadlock, how it process synchronization, then memory management and all. So you have to pick up one operating system from any of the books, or any special operating system as well, like Android or any operating system you can pick up, and for that how that is handles this all the functionality of the operating system that you have to write. Okay, so we came to the memory management. In the COA you might have started memory management. Okay, so in the what we'll be studying in the memory management, swapping, continuous memory allocation, this particular point which already we have done at the time of DSA. Then paging, we are going to look at new now, structure of the page table, then segmentation. Various this memory management exclusively we will be talking about the main memory management, not the secondary memory. Secondary memory we are going to have another module is there, that is fifth module we have. It is which is dedicated for the secondary memories only. So right now we are focusing only onto the main memory. Now, as we have done so many C programs, Java programs, Python programs, C++ programs, and so on, so we know that even we have studied the, we have executed some of the process-related commands in the Linux. So what we know is the program which program where it is residing, program is residing onto the secondary memory, that is disk, and to run that particular program, or to be that program is not a process. The process is when it is executing, or it is in the RAM, it is there in the RAM, it is waiting for the CPU, that all those concepts we have studied. So the program must be brought in to the main memory for the execution. What is the reason? Because the main memory is the memory which is the processor directly can access that memory, but the secondary memory processor cannot address directly, and that is why everything whatever you want to run, it has to be there in the main memory. Now, because main memory and the CPU registers. So CPU register depends on the CPU, which CPU you have, the number of register varies, the size of the register varies, and so those are the directly accessible by the CPU. And it does the processing, all processing it does in the register, then it stores in the main memory, or in the write back onto the hard disk.
Ma'am, screen
Yeah,
is
hello.
not visible.
Oh, sorry. So sorry. Thank you so much. Oh my God. So this is what no cache memory register, like access time, the why these memories are like differentiated, like registers, because it is a part of a CPU, it takes a very small amount of time, or the access time is a very small, which is a, you can say it's a one clock. Just the clock is depends on the processor speed that you will be studying in a COA. So the main memory even little bit far from the CPU, and that is why it will take little more time. Okay, now the cache memory sits between the main memory and the CPU register. So there is a something called as a cache memory, which is the fastest memory, and that is because the main memory also takes little bit more time. To avoid that more time, or to reduce the time, access time, there is a concept called as a cache memory. So cache memory is the fastest memory which is residing between where it is residing between the CPU and the main memory. Now the because there is a memory is only one unit. Okay, main memory is the one unit, and as we know, there are so many processes which are sharing that memory. They are sharing the memory, they are all the processors sharing the CPU, sharing all the resources, right? That we have seen in the process management, process synchronization, all the whatever till now, whatever we have seen of the OS. So we know that. And that is the reason, as many of us sharing, whenever we do share, That means at that time, what is the required is there is a need of a protection. There has to be some mechanism to protect one from the other. One area we need to protect somehow. So maybe it's a privacy policy, maybe it is access control. Somehow you need to protect uh, interfering one process from the other process. So that is the idea. Now there is a one of this protection mechanism is a base and the limit register. A pair of a base and limit register. It's a very easy concept. Usually operating system will be whatever the RAM we have when the booting process starts. So your hardware BIOS routines checks whether keyboard and all mouse everything all the devices are perfect and all, then it starts loading bootstrap loader. It starts executing bootstrap loader which comes into this thing, and then the bootstrap loader starts loading the operating system from the hard disk to the in the main memory. So usually the operating system will get loaded into the lower address of the RAM, lower addresses. So if the main memory is of 10 GB, like 10 MB or whatever, so the addresses will be start numerically from 0 and it will reach till the 10 MB. So that way, so in the lower address, that is zero side, operating system will get load itself, and then remaining space all the user processes will be occupying that space. Now what is the idea of a base and the limit register? Base register for every process. Why we need a protection? Because there are multiple processes, there is a one operating system residing. Now wherever the operating system is there, it is a privileged area. That is particular operating system, other processes are not having the access to the operating system area. So suppose operating system is residing from the address 0 to 25600 byte. This is a byte addressable memory. Then till 25,600, these are it is occupied. That means this is a privileged area, that is other user processes are not having the access to this particular area. But the other area which is shared among the different user processes themselves, so those are not a privileged area. That is why one process needs to be protected from the other process. Each process needs to be protected from the other process. So base and the limit register, what it does is every process will be given a base address. Okay, so now second process you can see 30004, which is at the beginning at the 30004. So which will be having, it is having associated base register. So base register will having this beginning address of this particular process, and then the limit register will be having that process size. It is starting at 30004, but the size of this particular process is 12,090 bytes. So from this base address, what is the limit? If the base address or the first byte of that process is going at the address 30004, then the last byte of that process will be going at 30004 plus 12090. So that is addition of this. So and if that process generates any address which is lower than 30004 or which is greater than 42094, then there will be but then that means the process is trying to access other process data, and then the operating system should not allow such kind of accesses. Are you getting? Every process will be limited with these two register. One is a base register and limit register. Base register will telling you what is the beginning address of that process, and the limit register is telling you what is the size of that process. So base address plus that size will be the last address that process can generate. If the process generates any address beyond these two registers, beyond the base and the limit register, then that process is trying to access some other process data or other process instruction, and that should not be acceptable. Is it clear? So this is how the processes are protected from each other, from spoiling each other's data or functions or instructions. with the help of base and limit register. Have you understood this? Shall we go ahead? Now, binding of instructions and data to memory. As we know, the program consists of the set of instructions and set of data. Okay, that we write in the hard disk. Whatever we are writing the program, we are saving onto the C drive or D drive, wherever we are storing. So, what the programs are consisting? Programs are having the set of instructions and set of data and the functions and all. Now, these are on the hard disk. Now, it has to be whenever I am running my program, that time the instructions and the data needs to be there where all the instruction and all data has to be there in a RAM. Now this RAM is limited, and so assigning these addresses, assigning this main memory, there are three types. One is a compile time. When we are compiling our program, that time itself the absolute code are generated, and the addresses, memory addresses are directly given to the program which is there we have written on the hard disk, or which is a C program or a Python program or any program. The second is the load time. And load time is memory locations are not known at the compile time, but the relocatable code is generated at the loading time. Relocatable codes are generated at the loading time, but the memory addresses are known, just relocatable. So suppose one time it is the beginning address is 1000, next time it could be it is 2000, just, and my process is of a size 500. So if the relocatable address is 1000, then my process will be from 1000 to 2000 1500. If my address is 2000, then 2000 plus 500, so that way 2500. That way relocatable code will be generated. Now the execution time. The third is execution time. The address binding or the memory allocation, main memory allocation to the instructions and the data is delayed until what? It is delayed till the execution. So for example, we have done linked list and everything with the help of pointers. In those we call it as a dynamic data structures. So dynamic memory allocation, at the time of dynamic memory allocation, the memory allocation or the memory allocation for the instruction as well as data is delayed till execution time. Now this is how this is. I might have shown at the data structure time as well. Source program, then either we compile it or assembler, then it generates object code, then other object modules, they say stdio.h and all. So whichever files you have included, so that will be other object modules. Then linker links our object file with those object files, and then the loader loads this with other system library, like system libraries such as like reading, as we have seen now in the Linux system calls. So those are the system libraries. So everything loader loads, and then in the memory the whole things goes as a process with the instructions, with loaders, with system library and dynamic linking library and everything. And at the execution time, the compile time address is given immediately at the first step. First step, it's a load time address will be given at this time, and dynamically at the end of after loading everything. Now the concept of a logical versus physical address space. What is a logical? If my process size is 500 bytes, process is 500 byte, then CPU is going to generate the address for that particular process, either to execute the instruction or to access the data only from this 500 addresses. And this is, we call it as a logical address or a virtual address. But physical address, we will go to the previous diagram, this diagram. My process, now third process, you can see, you can third process, suppose it is of a 500 bytes, okay, but which is starting from where? Which is starting for 42094. So if it is a 500 size, then what will be the my address logical and my logical address will be 0 to 500 only, that my CPU will be generating. But my physical address, actually my process is located at 42094, which is beginning address is 42094, and from that plus 500. So my total addresses are 42094 plus 42594. So that this will be my logical space. This will be my physical space. Actually, my process is located where? It is started from the 42,094 location, and from there 500. Okay, so that is the difference between the logical and the physical address. So the logical address is generated by the CPU, and the physical address is which is seen by the memory unit. The logical address, which is not, we will not go, logical address will never go beyond the size of your process, whereas physical address is decided by the actually where is the my process is located into the RAM. Okay, in the logical physical logical address and the physical address are the same in the compile time and the load time. Only it is going to change because in the logical address compile time में अगर memory पता है already कि यहाँ पे memory available है, then compile time location में memory it is going to give those memories to that process, even in the load time as well. But runtime because it is going to take as and when required. So the logical and the physical addresses are going to be different. Now the memory management unit. Memory management unit is the device or it is a small controller again, which maps virtual address or the logical address to the physical address. There has to be a mechanism to map the logical address which is generated by the CPU to the physical address which is available in the RAM. So in case of a base and this register, the relocation register is added to the every address generated by the user process. So base address we will be adding in every, so my processor generates the address as an 5, but I know that my process is at the beginning at the 40,000, then to actually go to the physical address, what I have to do is I have to add that 40,000 to the address which is generated by CPU, which is 5. So 40,005 will be my actually physical address. Are you getting? Anurag, are you getting this? Sonam, Pradnya, Prarthana.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, am I going very slow? Shall we go little fast? So the program deals with a logical address, and program will or the CPU will never know where actually physical addresses are. So physical address, so this logical address to physical address mapping, who does? Memory management unit does the logical address to physical address mapping. Again we have a numerical sound to this. So these concepts has to be very clear to do the numericals. Now again, for example, CPU generates 346 this address, so we will call it as a logical address, but the relocation register or the base register of that particular process is beginning at the 14,000. That means the physical address of this 348 logical address is going to be 346 plus the relocation register, that is 14,000. So physical address will be 14,346, right? Or agree?
Yes, ma'am.
Dynamic loading when it is required. Dynamic loading is when it is done. The routine is not loaded until it is, that is the advantage. Routine or the process or the function procedure is not loaded until it is called. Because of that, the advantage of a dynamic loading is a better memory utilization. Unnecessary, the process is a very large, लेकिन at a time तो सब कुछ नहीं लगता है process को, it is going to use it later stage. So dynamic loading में or whole program or the whole this thing will not be brought into the memory, but it will be as and when required, slowly, one page or maybe as and when required, the procedures or the functions will be called. So that is the advantage of a dynamic loading. So it gives leads to the better utilization of the memory. This already we spoke about, linking postpone until execution time. Now the stub you will be studying in the higher semester. Stubs are used for the testing purpose, so it is replaces itself with it is a temporary names which will be replaced with the actual routines. Now another concept called as a swapping. We have studied the process management. We know the processes goes through the ready queue, then waiting state, then it goes to the running, then suspended, and so on. Now some of the processes, if there is a no space, then will be put back onto the there is something called as a scheduler, mid term. There is a long term scheduler, short term scheduler, and the mid term scheduler. So what was the purpose of the mid term scheduler? Can you tell me, somebody? What is the purpose of the mid term scheduler? Mid term scheduler, do you remember? Mid-term scheduler is used for this swapping. So what is the swapping? Bringing in the taking out the processes which are there in the RAM. But suppose the higher priority processes, or there is some requirement that the new process has to come in and there is no RAM available. So in that case, some of the processes which are there in the RAM has to be put back onto the secondary, that is called as a backing store. So backing store can be not exactly secondary memory, but it's a fast disk, large space to accommodate copies of all the memory images of all the users. So it is a secondary memory only. So that is putting back. So roll out and rolling. Swapping is used for the, as in whenever the highest priority processes are coming in, there is no space, then there has to be some process has to go out from, and that is called as a rollout, and that will be decision taken by the medium term scheduler. Medium term scheduler is working in between this main memory and secondary memory पे process से जो swap out करना है, so that is called as a swapping. Now the why this is as I said, it is a fast disk, because swap out swap in time will unnecessary the processor time, or the most of the time it should not spend onto the swap in swap out. So the transfer time, transferring back onto the secondary, again bring back from there. So every time there are n number of processes in the RAM, there has to be some criteria to select among these 5 processes are there in the RAM, which has to be swapped out, okay, onto the secondary device. Now there are in the fast disk secondary memory, there are the processes which are there. Now there is a empty space. In that case, the processes has to be brought back into the RAM. In that case, what is the criteria, on what basis the processes will be come in? So again, there will be different queues, for bringing in and taking out, different criteria based on that. Okay. So this is how the pictorial view of it. Backing storage, it's a hard disk. It is a part of a hard disk only, where the processes will be taken out. So now there are two kind of allocation: continuous allocation and non-continuous allocation, that we will see now. In the continuous allocation, relocation register used to protect user processes, that also we have seen. Base register contains value of the smallest physical address. Limit register contains the logical address, that is the maximum. And the memory management unit maps logical address to the physical address by adding this thing. So this is, we have seen. How it protects is, if the address is not within limit, then it gives the interrupt, that is track to operating system, saying that is the addressing error, or this process is trying to access somebody else's address, so that is should not be allowed. So that is how it takes care of the protection, one process from the other process. For the continuous allocation, multiple partition allocation. What multiple partition allocation? This we have studied in the data structure as well. Whole is called as any space which is a memory, a free memory, which is called as a whole. Okay. Because the processes are not sequentially put. So the processes may be terminating, which is came the terminating. Whenever the process is terminating, it is creating their whole, because that process will be going out of the RAM and it is creating the hole there. So that is the empty. The hole is nothing but a empty space. Okay. So the free space and the occupied space are not a continuous ones. Free space and the occupied ones are not continuous ones. There could be in between, there are holes, there are partitions which are free, and there are partitions which are continuously, which are allocated to the processes. It depends on, because everything, a whole structure of the RAM is it is a dynamic. The processes are coming in, going out, coming in, going out. The processes are going into the different states and so on, and based on that. Now the continuous allocation is, the whole process will be put together. Whole process will be, it is not divided into like a data part or a functions part or nothing. The whole process will be together, which will be, suppose for process is of 45 MB, then it will look for the OS will look for the 45 MB free space or the whole, and then it will, if it is greater than 45 MB, it will put over there. So this first fit, best fit, and the worst fit, which already we have studied in the data structure. So I'll skip this. First fit, what it does, you can tell me. What is the first fit? Whichever the first enough size slot is available, that is will be given. Then best fit, allocate the smallest. It tries to minimize the wastage, and the worst fit tries to put into the largest hole in such a way that it will create another leftover hole, again can accommodate another process. So that is the idea which already we have seen. The problem which of the this thing are external fragmentation and the internal fragmentation. External fragmentation is due to the external fragmentation. Even these terms we have seen before. If the available free hole is of 10 KB and my process is 8 KB, then there will be 2 KB which will be the going as a wastage. So that is the external fragmentation. Now this 2 KB is one. Then another process, there is a space of 8 KB, the process is of 3 KB, and there will be 5 KB which is again a wastage. And this way there are small holes which are, but now these are in such a small that is no other process can go in it. No other process individually can go, but these small pieces or small holes, if I combine together, so this 5 plus 2 maybe 1.5 and so on. So if I club all these together, then there is enough space to accommodate another process. So that is called as an external fragmentation. And internal fragmentation is, एक the process gone to the hole, and the whatever leftover part is the internal fragmentation. External is all together throughout the whatever the RAM total you have in that RAM, whatever the wastage is happened, so that is external. Now to reduce the external fragmentation, there is the solution is called as a compaction. The shuffle memory contents like एक जगह पे ले लो सब जो भी free है you try to. Now to do this, सभी process का each and every byte you have to copy to the another, so that is a costly operation than the this thing. Compaction is you take out जो भी free space है like yeah, usually when we are standing in the queues and all, no, so one person leaves, suppose for something, and then we go ahead, so we don't keep that space as an empty, so somebody who is there behind will just occupy that particular space. So that is the how the compaction can be done. But the compaction again for everywhere, it has to reflect in the process control block, so many places it has to reflect if the addresses have been changed and all, right? Now so today's this thing, now what is advanced we are going to look at is the paging and the segmentation. Till now whatever we saw that already we had seen. Now the concept of the paging. Now paging is the logical address space. Logical address space is nothing but what? The process size. So suppose process size is of 5 KB, then I can divide that 5 KB process into 5 pages, each of a 4 KB. Are you getting? Logical address space of a process can be non-continuous in the paging. That is 5 KB का process है. In the continuous allocation, what we did is 5 KB का process है तो 5 KB and above अगर whole है, then only we had put complete process into that hole. But in the paging, what is we will be doing is we will be dividing that 5 KB process into 5 pages of a 1 KB each. And so what it does is, and then logical address को हम लोगों ने pages में convert किया, divide किया. Now the physical memory also is being divided into fixed size block called as frames. Physical memory is also being divided into fixed size block. Now this block size is called as a frame, and these frames and the page size has to be equal. So suppose I have created the logical, I have converted that 5 KB process into 1 KB page, then the frame size in the physical memory has to be of a what size? It has to be of a 1 KB only. So that logical address space में I have a process of a 5 KB which I was taking example. तो 5 pages मैंने बनाए हो इसके, and then जहाँ जहाँ पे 5 frames खाली है, I will be putting my pages into those 5 frames. Not necessarily those 5 frames are a continuous frames. Are you getting? We have to solve the numericals onto this. So that is why, please, if you have any query or if you don't understand right now, please ask. Have you understood? There is no power at my place, so I cannot see your responses. Okay. Have you understood? Aditya, Shubham, Johan? Have you understood this paging concept? Logical pages and physical address space will be dividing into what? Frames. But the frame size and the page size has to be equal. It is a kind of a window. लाइक यहाँ पे पेजेस है, वही पेजेस हम लोग वो फ्रेम में फिक्स करके जाएंगे जहां जहां पे पेजेस है. सो नाउ जो वट एवर द कंस्टेंट वी हैड की पेज अगर प्रोसेस साइज अगर बड़ा है तो कंटिन्यूअस मेमोरी लोकेशंस नहीं है, मेमोरी अवेलेबल नहीं है, बट पेजेस ऐसे स्कैटर्ड अवेलेबल है, फ्रेम स्कैटर्ड अवेलेबल है, वो भी काम अपना चलेगा, ठीक है। So divide logical memory into blocks of a same size called the pages. Then it should have a mechanism ना to keep track of a free frames. Free frames कहाँ पे है, कौन से है, and जो भी occupied frames है वो किसने लिया है, because every process all process के pages जो है कहीं कहीं पे मतलब scattered रहेंगे पूरी RAM में, so that we should have that mechanism as well. Like process is having how many pages और वो pages सारे के सारे कहाँ कहाँ पे है, scattered है, so there has to be a data structure to maintain this kind of, so that is we call it as a page table. Page table will be keeping track of the logical and the physical addresses, logical free spaces, logical addresses, sorry, logical pages and the physical frames कहाँ कहाँ पे है. Now like there is a little chance of internal fragmentation like 1 KB, not necessary ना, अपने सभी के सभी प्रोसेस, सपोज मेरा प्रोसेस है 5 KB का एग्जैक्टली नहीं है, 5054 बाइट का है, तो मेरा पेज साइज अगर 1000 का है तो 54 के आगे वाला जो है लाइक 946 इतना मेरा तो इंटरनल फ्रैगमेंटेशन होने ही वाला है. सो दैट इज द इंटरनल फ्रैगमेंटेशन. Now paging में how do the address translation takes place? Address जो process generate the CPU generate करता है, that address is which address we call it as a logical address. हाँ, और उसको जो physical space में memory में जाते हैं वो that is what physical address. Okay, so how the address is generated? Address, whole address is being logical address या virtual address जो होता है, so that is divided into two parts. One is a page number. एक बार तो आप पेज नंबर फाइंड आउट करो एंड द पेज नंबर एंड देन अ पेज ऑफसेट. तो पेज नंबर सपोज 10th है तो 10th पेज नंबर एंड द ऑफसेट उसमें है वो पेज नंबर में, लाइक सपोज जैसे बिल्डिंग में होता है ना, लाइक 3rd फ्लोर 7th फ्लोर में लाइक 4th फ्लैट. ओके, 7th फ्लोर, सो 7th इज टेलिंग मी द पेज नंबर. अगर एवरी फ्लोर पे 10 फ्लैट्स है, सो माय पेज ऑफसेट is going to be 1 to 10 values. So my D is going to be 1 to 10 because for every floor there are only how many values? Only there are 10 values. Where from where the disturbance is coming? Yeah. It's coming. Right? Are you getting? Sonam? Johan?
Yes, ma'am.
Page offset will be
पेज ऑफसेट विल बी, अगर पेज साइज सपोज 1000 बाइट्स है, 1000 बाइट्स का एक एक पेज अगर बनाया है तो पेज ऑफसेट विल बी 1 to 1000. जैसे एक फ्लोर पे 10 फ्लैट्स है तो 1 to 10 विल बी द ऑफसेट, मतलब मैक्सिमम वो पेज में कहाँ पे ढूंढना है, दैट वे, मतलब वो फ्लोर पे कहाँ पे ढूंढना है. सो वो जो स्पेस होता है, सर्चिंग स्पेस आपका कम हो रहा है. लेकिन एक फ्लोर पे अगर 10 फ्लैट्स है तो एक बार फ्लोर पता चला कि फ्लैट में जाना डिफिकल्ट है कि अभी 10 में ही देख रहे हैं आपको. सो दैट इज ऑफसेट. फाइव 500 बाइट का अगर पेज साइज है तो पेज ऑफसेट क्या होगा, 1 to 500 में से कोई भी वैल्यू होगा ऑफसेट. आर यू गेटिंग?
means वो base address ही हुआ ना page offset.
बेस एड्रेस नहीं, वो पेज ढूंढना है. एक प्रोसेस हम लोगों ने पेजेस में डिवाइड किया, वो वापस पेजेस मेमोरी में अलग अलग जगह पे फेंक दिए हैं ऐसे, ठीक है. पेज टेबल इज कीपिंग ट्रैक ऑफ दैट कि कहाँ पे कौन सा पेज नंबर कहाँ पे है. ओके, फिर एड्रेस जब सीपीयू जनरेट करेगा वो तो एक ही एड्रेस करता है ना, मतलब ऐसे मल्टीपल एड्रेस नहीं लेता है सीपीयू. कुछ रीड करना है तो राइट करना है तो एक ही करता है, मतलब बाइट एड्रेसेबल है तो एक ही बाइट का एड्रेस चाहिए. अगर डबल बाइट वाला है तो 2 बाइट का एड्रेस वो जनरेट करेगा. सो दैट वे. तो पेज ऑफसेट इज व्हाट, कि मुझे पेज नंबर पता चला कि 10th पेज, ठीक है, दैट इज पी इज गिविंग मी दैट. लेकिन 10th पेज अगर एक पेज 1000 बाइट का है तो D is telling me कि उसमें 1000 में कहाँ पे जाना है. सपोज मैं पेज ऑफसेट इज 800, देन 800 इज टेलिंग मी कि ये पेज नंबर पे जाओ, फिर वो पेज नंबर पे 800 वाला बाइट तुम रीड करो. दैट वे ऑफसेट इज वो पेज में कहाँ पे.
समझा मैम.
समझा? ठीक है. और किसी को डाउट है? Shall we go ahead? Okay, I'll go ahead. हाँ, तो ये जो ये है ना गिवन लॉजिकल एड्रेस स्पेस 2:m एंड पेज साइज 2:n. तो 2:n अगर है तो और लॉजिकल एड्रेस प्रोसेस इतने साइज का है तो क्या होगा, मतलब नंबर ऑफ पेजेस कितने होंगे, 2:m डिवाइडेड बाय 2:n इज इक्वल टू नंबर ऑफ पेजेस. आर यू गेटिंग? मतलब पेज का साइज 2 अगर n है, सपोज पेज साइज अपना 2:4 है, तो 2:4 इज 16 और अपने पास मतलब मेरा प्रोसेस है 100 बाइट का. ठीक है, तो कितने पेजेस हो जाएंगे, या 128 बाइट का सपोज. ठीक है, 128 डिवाइडेड बाय दैट मींस 2:7 डिवाइडेड बाय 2:4 दैट मींस 2:3. तो 8 पेजेस होने वाले हैं अपने टोटल. आर यू गेटिंग दिस? m n और ये m माइनस n, इस पे न्यूमेरिकल करने वाले हम लोग नेक्स्ट लेक्चर. लॉजिकल स्पेस मेरा अगर प्रोसेस 128 बाइट का है, मेरा पेज साइज है 16 बाइट, तो 128 में से मेरे पेजेस कितने बनेंगे मेरे प्रोसेस के, 128 डिवाइडेड बाय 16, राइट?
Yes,
दैट इज,
ma'am.
हाँ दैट इज नथिंग बट 8 पेजेस. हाँ, तो ये 8 पेजेस अलग अलग जगह पे जाएंगे और ट्रांसलेशन कैसे करते दैट विल सी हियर. ये देखो सीपीयू क्या जनरेट कर रहा है अभी, सीपीयू जो एड्रेस लॉजिकल एड्रेस जनरेट कर रहा है उसमें पेज नंबर भी एक पार्ट है, और डी पार्ट जो लास्ट स्लाइड में हम लोगों ने देखा था कि पी है पेज नंबर देता है और डी है जो पेज ऑफसेट देता है कि वो पेज में जाना कहाँ पे है. ओके, तो ये पेज टेबल जो होता है, तो पेज टेबल इज टेलिंग मी कि ये पेज नंबर एक्चुअली फिजिकली कहाँ पे है. ठीक है, तो पी सीपीयू जनरेट करा एक एड्रेस, उसमें से पेज जो टेबल है वो पेज नंबर जो है वो पेज टेबल में आपको देखना है कि पेज टेबल ये मेंटेन कर रहा है कि ये पेज नंबर है, फिजिकल एड्रेस यहाँ पे लोकेशन पे है वो. ठीक है, तो मतलब ये पी जो था वो एफ लोकेशन पे है. ठीक है, वो बता रहा है. ठीक है, मतलब सम कन्वेंशन आर देयर. फिर ऑफसेट है, ऑफसेट वैसे ही डायरेक्टली जा रहा है. पेज नंबर तुम्हारा पेज नंबर 6 है या 4 है, 4 पेज नंबर एक्चुअली कौन से फ्रेम में है वो एफ आपको यहाँ से मिला, मे बी वो फिजिकल मेमोरी लोकेशन में वो पेज फ्रेम 100 पेज फ्रेम में है. ठीक है, यहाँ का मेरा पेज नंबर कौन सा था, वो एक्चुअली मेरे प्रोसेस का लॉजिकल प्रोसेस का 4th पेज था, लेकिन वो एक्चुअली रैम में कहाँ पे प्रेजेंट है, 100th पेज फ्रेम में प्रेजेंट है. तो डायरेक्टली ये ट्रांसलेशन कैसे हो रहा है, वो पेज टेबल मुझे बता रहा है कि वो 100 मतलब पेज फ्रेम नंबर मुझे दे रहा है, यह इज अ फ्रेम नंबर. ठीक है, कि ये मेरा पेज 4th पेज कौन से पेज फ्रेम में प्रेजेंट है, तो दैट इज सपोज 100. तो 100 आया और वो एक्चुअली सीपीयू ने जो एड्रेस जनरेट किया है वो डी इज गिविंग मी ऑफसेट. तो मेरा पेज का साइज सपोज जैसे अभी लिया था एग्जांपल 16 बाइट का है, तो ऑफसेट मेरा 8 है, तो पेज फ्रेम एफ में 16th लोकेशन पे जाना है. तो एफ इज सपोज 100, तो 100th पेज फ्रेम में 16th बाइट मुझे रीड करना है. दैट इज हाउ द लॉजिकल एड्रेस इज बीइंग ट्रांसलेटेड विद अ फिजिकल एड्रेस. So just I will wait for a minute. If you understood, then we'll go ahead. Or should I tell me if you anybody have any doubt, any question? No doubt. Bajrang, you understood everything?
Yes, ma'am.
So see, so my logical memory is having, there are 4 pages. मेरा जो भी प्रोसेस है उसके कितने पेजेस बने, 4 पेजेस. So page 0, page 1, page 2, page 3. तो मेरा पेज टेबल क्या होगा, पेज टेबल विल हैव 4 एंट्रीज. तो फॉर एवरी एसोसिएट प्रोसेस के लिए एक पेज टेबल एंट्री रहेगा. ठीक है, प्रोसेस के लिए पेज टेबल रहेगा. ठीक है, तो मैं पेज 0, मेरा पेज 0 जो मेरा लॉजिकल प्रोसेस का 0th पेज है वो कौन सी फ्रेम में प्रेजेंट है, 1 फ्रेम में प्रेजेंट है. मेरा पेज 1 जो मेरे प्रोसेस का है दैट इज प्रेजेंट इन विच फ्रेम, 4th फ्रेम. पेज 2 is present in 3rd frame and page 3 is present in the 7th frame. That is how the page table will telling me this. Now is it clear? The page size, logical process का page size and फिजिकल मेमोरी का पेज फ्रेम एक ही साइज का होना जरूरी है. तो यहाँ पे पेज फ्रेम्स कौन से ऑक्यूपाई किए, ये वाली प्रोसेस ने फ्रेम नंबर 1, 3, 4 और 7 ऑक्यूपाइड है. अभी कौन से फ्रेम्स खाली है, 0, 2, 5, 6. अगर कोई प्रोसेस आता है विच इज ऑफ अ साइज 2, तो इसमें से कोई भी पेज फ्रेम्स एलोकेट उसको हो सकते हैं. मतलब नॉट नेसेसरी 0, 1 सिक्वेंशियली नहीं, कैसे भी होता है, लाइक 5, 6 या 5, 3, 5, 0, 5, 2 जो भी खाली है. गेटिंग? स्वराज, Prathamesh is not there.
Yes, ma'am.
So this way it will be actual data at the byte level, it will be like that. Okay. So operating system, there has to be some this thing, free frames कौन से है, allocated कौन से है. So it has to keep track of the free frames and all. So free frame जो list होता है उसमें से ही अगर new process is coming in, तो न्यू प्रोसेस को पेज टेबल में जो फ्री है उसमें से ही फ्रेम्स अलोकेट किए जाएंगे. नाउ इन दिस सी फ्री फ्रेम्स है 13, 14, 18, 20 एंड 15. तो नया प्रोसेस अगर आया, न्यू प्रोसेस केम इन, तो उसमें उसको 4 पेजेस का 4 पेजेस साइज वाज देयर, 4 पेजेस वर देयर. सो उसमें से 4 फ्रेम्स न्यू प्रोसेस को अलोकेट हो गए एंड फ्री फ्रेम अभी कितने हैं, एक ही है खाली, 315. ओके, after allocation. So usually these page tables are is a part of a main memory. So page tables base register. So page table base register is the register which points to the page table. Page table length register indicates the size of the page table. So page table हर एक प्रोसेस का पेज टेबल होता है. तो पेज टेबल साइज अगर 4 है तो इसका मतलब है वो प्रोसेस इज ऑफ साइज 4. So that is what page table length register gives us the size of the page table, and that indirectly it gives the size of the process as well. Now in this scheme, see page table memory में है, ठीक है, अपना डेटा भी मेमोरी में है, इंस्ट्रक्शंस भी मेमोरी में है. तो इन दिस स्कीम हाउ मेनी डेटा इंस्ट्रक्शन मेमोरी एक्सेसेस आर रिक्वायर्ड? 2. क्यों? बिकॉज फर्स्ट थिंग यू हैव टू पेज टेबल में जाके देखना, वेयर इज द पेज टेबल, पेज टेबल इज इन मेमोरी. पेज टेबल में जाके देखना पड़ेगा कि वेयर इट इज एग्जैक्टली फिजिकल मेमोरी लोकेशन पे कहाँ पे है, तो वो ट्रांसलेशन करना है और फिर एक्चुअल डेटा या एक्चुअल इंस्ट्रक्शन एक्सेस करना है, राइट? So that is why it takes how many memory accesses? 2 memory accesses. So there are memory access problem can be resolved with the special type of this thing which is called as a cache memory, which is associative memory, or it is also called as a translation look aside buffer. Translation look aside buffer. Okay, so that we are going to see in the numericals. Okay, so this will stop today, and I will put the quiz for Friday. So it's a Good Friday, it's a holiday, so that day anytime you can, maybe I will start it on Thursday itself after our practical, and you can appear for that quiz. and by that time you can start your this thing. Not on a Moodle. Everything I give onto the classroom only. Moodle पे मैंने कुछ भी नहीं डाला ये सेमेस्टर में. I used to put at the data structure time but not now. I am putting it is better for me. वो डेटा इसके लिए मुझे इजी जाता है मेंटेन करने के लिए. ठीक है, तो नथिंग इज देयर ऑन टू द मॉडल. It's became very (29th). Today is the 30th. 29th. Roll number 1, 2,
Present,
3,
ma'am. Ma'am, roll number 1 present.
3 present, ma'am. Roll number 3 present.
2, 3 present. Okay, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Present, ma'am.
8,
Present, ma'am.
9, 10, 11,
Left
12.
4 present.
Muhammad. 11, 12, 13, 14.
Present, ma'am.
13 or 14? Kaustubh
13
or
present,
yes?
ma'am.
Okay, Kaustubh?
Ma'am, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Kaustubh is also there. 15,
Present, ma'am.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20,
Present, ma'am.
21, 22, 23,
Present, ma'am.
20. Prathamesh, are you there? (24, 25,
Yes, ma'am.
27. Omkar, very few lectures, sat for very few lectures. 28, 29,
Present, ma'am.
29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34,
32 present, ma'am.
33. Okay. 35,
Present, ma'am.
36, 37,
Present, ma'am.
38,
Present, ma'am.
39,
Present, ma'am.
40,
41 present, ma'am.
42, 43,
Present, ma'am.
44, 45,
Present, ma'am.
Present, ma'am.
46,
Present, ma'am.
47, 48, 49,
Present, ma'am.
Present, ma'am.
50, 50, 51,
Present, ma'am.
52,
Present, ma'am.
53, 54,
Present, ma'am.
55,
Present, ma'am.
56, 56, 57, 58, Rupesh, 59,
Present, ma'am.
Present, ma'am.
60,
Present, ma'am.
Ma'am, 59 present.
59 I marked. 61, 62, 63, 64.
Present, ma'am.
Present, ma'am.
Ajit is there today? Diploma student Masi? आदित्य?
Present, ma'am.
बाकी लोग नहीं है क्या आदित्य?
No, ma'am.
दीपाली? अनुष्का? रसेल?